Hello everyone, welcome to the presentation of Java Database Connectivity, that is JDBC. Here we will see JDBC API, what is JDBC, then architecture of JDBC, after that common JDBC components, creating JDBC application, what is result set, and then we will see three examples, that is three programs. The first one is to create the student table. The second program is to add the record in the student table, and the third one is to display the records from the student table. JDBC API. SQL databases are databases built on the SQL standard, which is a widely accepted standard that defines a strict protocol for accessing and manipulating data. JDBC defines a structured interface to SQL, that is structured query language databases. By supporting SQL, JDBC allows developers to interact and support a wide range of databases. The JDBC API provides Java developers with a consistent approach to accessing SQL databases. The JDBC API includes classes for common SQL database constructs such as database connections, SQL statements, and result sets. A result set is a group of data retrieved from a database after a user request. JDBC Java programs will be able to use the familiar SQL programming model of issuing SQL statements and processing the resulting data. The JDBC API is largely dependent on a driver manager that supports multiple drivers connecting to different databases. JDBC database drivers can be either written entirely in Java or implemented using native methods to bridge Java applications to existing database access libraries. The JDBC API provides universal data access from the Java programming language. Using the JDBC API, you can access virtually any data source from relational database to spreadsheets and flat files. JDBC technology also provides a common base on which the tools and alternate interfaces can be built. The JDBC API is comprised of two packages, namely java.sql and javax.sql. You automatically get both packages when you download the Java Platform Standard Edition, that is Java SE 8. Now, what is JDBC? JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity, which is a standard Java API for database independent connectivity between the Java programming language and a wide range of databases. The JDBC library includes APIs for each of the tasks mentioned below that are commonly associated with database usage. The first one is making a connection to a database, then creating SQL or MySQL statements, after executing SQL or MySQL queries in the database, and viewing and modifying the resulting records. Fundamentally, JDBC is a specification that provides a complete set of interfaces that allows for portable access to an underlying database. Java can be used to write different types of executables such as Java applications, Java applets, Java servlets, Java server pages, and enterprise Java beans. All of these different executables are able to use a JDBC driver to access a database and take advantage of the stored data. JDBC provides the same capabilities as ODBC, allowing Java programs to contain database independent code. Now, JDBC architecture. The JDBC API supports both 2-tier and 3-tier processing models for database access. But in general, JDBC architecture consists of two layers. The first one is JDBC API. This provides the application to JDBC Manager connection, and the second one is JDBC Driver API. This supports the JDBC Manager to driver connection. The JDBC API uses a driver manager and database specific drivers to provide transparent connectivity to heterogeneous databases. The JDBC driver manager ensures that the correct driver is used to access each data source. The driver manager is capable of supporting multiple concurrent drivers connected to multiple heterogeneous databases. Here, this figure shows the architectural diagram which shows the location of the driver manager with respect to the JDBC drivers and the Java application. Now, the common JDBC components. The JDBC API provides various interfaces and classes. The first is the driver manager. This class manages a list of database drivers, matches connection requests from the database application with the proper database driver using communication subprotocol. Then the next is driver. This interface handles the communication with the database server. You will interact directly with the driver objects very rarely. Instead, you use driver manager objects which manage objects of this type. It also abstracts details associated with driver objects. Then the next is the connection. The connection object represents communication context. That is, all communication with database is through the connection object only. After this, the statement. You use objects created from this interface to submit the SQL statements to the database. Some derived interfaces accept parameters in addition to executing stored procedures. After this, the result set. These objects hold data retrieved from a database after you execute an SQL query using statement objects. It acts as an iterator to allow you to move through its data, and the SQL exception class handles any errors that occur in the database applications. Creating JDBC applications. There are 6 steps involved in building JDBC applications. Number 1. Import the packages. Requires that you include the packages containing the JDBC classes needed for database programming, most often using import java.sql.star. Then the next is register the JDBC driver. Requires that you initialize the driver so you can open a communication channel with database. After this, open a connection. Requires using the driver manager get connection method to create a connection object which represents a physical connection with the database. After this, execute a query. Requires using an object of type statement for building and submitting an SQL statement to the database. After this, extract data from result set. Requires to use appropriate result set get method to retrieve data from the result set. And the last is clean up the environment. Requires explicitly closing all database resources versus relying on the JVM's garbage collection. Creating JDBC applications. You must register the driver in your program before you use it. Registering the driver is the process by which the Oracle drivers class file is loaded into the memory. So it can be utilized as an implementation of the JDBC interfaces. You need to do this registration only once in your program. The most common approach to register a driver is to use Java's class.forName method to dynamically load the driver's class file into memory, which automatically registers it. The following example uses class.forName to register the Oracle driver. Here the statement class.forName oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver registers the Oracle driver. If the registration is not successful, then it throws the exception of type class not found exception. The second step in establishing a connection is to have the appropriate driver connected to the DBMS. The following line of code illustrates the general idea. Connection con equal to driver manager dot get connection into a bracket URL, login name and then password. For the JDBC ODBC driver, the JDBC URL will start with JDBC colon ODBC colon. The rest of the URL is generally data source name or database name. For example, if you are using ODBC to access an ODBC data source called STU, then the JDBC URL could be JDBC colon ODBC colon STU. The connection returned by the method driverManager.getConnection is an open connection. You can use it to create JDBC statements that pass your SQL statements to the DBMS. Following SQL statement creates a student table. Create table student role as integer and name as varchar20. The driver you are using will automatically supply the appropriate statement terminator, that is semicolon, and you will not need to include it in your JDBC code. Assign the SQL statement that you want to execute as a string to one string variable. For example, string s equal to within quotation mark create table student role integer name varchar20. A statement object send your SQL statement to the DBMS. Create a statement object and then execute it by applying the appropriate execute method with the SQL statement you want to send. For a select statement, the method used is execute query. For statements that create or modify tables, the method used is execute update. It takes an instance of an action connection to create a statement object. For example, following code creates a stmt statement object. Statement stmt is equal to con.create statement. Here con is the connection object. At this point, stmt exists but does not have an SQL statement to pass on to the DBMS. For example, following code supply the SQL create table statement to the stmt object. stmt dot execute update into bracket s to insert a row in the table student with role equal to 10 and name equal to Mohan. Enter the following code. String s equal to insert into student values 10 comma Mohan and then stmt dot execute update into bracket s. Result set. The result set object is very similar to a multidimensional array. It contains a finite set of records or rows and each record contains a finite set of columns. Each of these columns contains some data, whether it is a character, an integer or null value. After creating connection object, the statement object is created as given below. Statement stmt is equal to con.create statement and then string s equal to select roll number comma name from student and then result set rs equal to stmt dot execute query into bracket s. Now the execute query method executes a SQL query and returns the results into the result set object. Following are some methods in result set. The first one is getInt. returns the column passed as column name or a column index as a integer data type. Then getLong returns the column passed as a column name or a column index as a long data type. Then getFloat, getDouble, getString, etc. After that, the next is the first method. Moves the cursor to the first row in the result set. Then last, moves the cursor to the last row in the result set. Before first, moves the cursor to a point just before the first row. After last, moves the cursor to a point just after the last row. Absolute integer row number moves the cursor to a specified row, and then relative integer row number moves the cursor to the specified row. Now we will see the program to create a student table with fields roll number and name in Oracle using JDBC. By using ODBC, create a user DSN XYZ for Oracle driver. Import java.sql.star. Then define the class createStudent. After this, in the main method of the student class, the first statement is to load the driver, that is class.forName son.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver. Then define the connection object, that is connection con equal to driver manager dot get connection. Then into a bracket, the first is the DSN JDBC colon ODBC colon XYZ. After this, the username Scott and the password as a tiger. Then the string s equal to create table student role integer name varchar20. After this, create the statement object, that is statement stmt equal to con.create statement. After this, now submit the SQL statement assigned to the variable s to the DBMS by using the statement stmt.executeUpdate into bracket s, and at the end close the connection by using the statement con.close. Now we will see one program, that is to insert the record in the student table. Here we are defining a frame to insert a record in the student table. First we will import three packages, that is SQL, AWT and event. In this frame we are defining two text fields and one button, and for this now we are adding the text fields and buttons in the panel, and then we'll add the panel to the frame. Here first we declare the class recInsert, which extends frame and implements action listener. Then we declare one variable of type panel, two variables of type text field and one variable of type button. In the main method we are creating the instance of recInsert, that is R, and then we set the size for the frame, and after that we display that particular frame on the screen. In the constructor we are defining the instance of the panel, then we add the panel. After this we are creating two instances of the text fields and then one instance of the button, and we add all these to the panel, and also we are adding the action listener for the button B. Then we override the action perform method. In the action perform method we are declaring the variable rno of type int, sname of type string, and after this rno equal to integer.parseInt into bracket t1.getText and sname equal to t2.getText. And similarly here we are assigning the string insert into student values into bracket 2 question marks quotation mark complete. We are assigning this string to the variable s. Then we are creating the, or we are loading the, what to call it as, the driver object. After this we are defining the connection object, and then by using prepared statement class we are defining one instance stmt, and then con.prepare statement into bracket s, and after this we are assigning the value of RNO by using the statement stmt.setInt into bracket 1 comma RNO. Similarly, stmt.setString into bracket 2 comma sname, and then we call the execute update method, which will submit the insert statement to the backend, that is the DBMS, and at the end we'll close it. Here is the program which displays the records from the student table. This particular program will read the records from the student table, assign all those records to the record set RS, and after that, by using the while loop, it will display these records one by one on the screen. Here is the end of the JDBC presentation. Thank you.